boyfriend became disabled and I want to break up, but I'd feel like a terrible person. How do I handle this? I, 25 years old, female, have been with my boyfriend, 25 male, since high school. Unfortunately, he was in a car accident and became disabled from the waist down. I wanted to be by his side during his recovery. Disabilities have never been a deal breaker for me, and I loved him. So while I knew this would be a struggle, I believed we could overcome it together. I tried to participate in his recovery by being there for him during physical therapy. I even moved into his parents' house to help take care of him, since he can't do many tasks without assistance. My job is very close to his parents' place, and my manager allows me to clock out if his parents need help with things like getting him to the hospital. But my boyfriend completely shut down. I understand that this is a life-changing injury, and at such a young age, it's absolutely devastating. Still, he just doesn't want me anywhere near him. I tried taking him to concerts, plays, organizing picnics and trips. Anything to show him that his life didn't end with his injury and that he can still have a fulfilling life. But he's been indifferent to it all. Therapy doesn't seem to help because he's completely dissociated from everything. I couldn't watch him like this anymore, so I demanded that he tell me what's on his mind. He finally opened up and said he's angry about everything, that he feels like I'm only with him out of moral obligation, and that he doesn't feel like a proper boyfriend because he can't do anything for himself. He said he wants to be a real man, but he isn't even able to make love to me anymore. I tried to be empathetic and told him that if I've stayed with him this long after the accident, it's obviously not an issue for me because I still love him. But he just scoffed, like he didn't believe me. Now it's come to the point where he's throwing things at me, demanding I leave the room. He's ignoring me, and when he's not, he's insulting me. He's even throwing the food I bring him on the floor like a child. He's become emotionally abusive, and I'd be lying if I said I still love him. I genuinely wanted to be there for him because I've heard stories of people who, after intense physical therapy, managed to get back on their feet and walk with some assistance. I believed he might be able to do it too. I believe in miracles, and the human body is a fascinating thing. Maybe he could walk again, but he needed to put in the work and have faith in himself. But he's become so nasty, rude, and hurtful that, I don't know, I think I've just fallen out of love with him. I approached his mom and told her that I feel like I probably don't love him anymore because he's been so hurtful towards me for 2+ years now, and I just can't endure it anymore. I don't deserve this. His mom immediately got defensive, saying that he suffered great psychological trauma after the accident, and it's normal for him to be so depressed. I completely understand that, but it doesn't give him a green light to be so hurtful towards people who are actually trying to help him. His mom asked me to stay because my boyfriend needs my support, but judging from his behavior, he doesn't want or need me at all. Maybe he's doing it on purpose to push me away, but at this point, I don't care anymore. I can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. I'm tired. I've tried for a long time. He shut me out. I want to break up with him, but I'd feel like an absolute trash human being for leaving someone behind when they need me the most. But at the same time, I can't endure this anymore. I want to leave, but I don't want to be that person, if you know what I mean. I am at a loss. I need advice.
Now let's check out what the comments have to say. User Con Incognito.
Of course his mum wants you to stay. You're a free live-in nurse for them. But it's not your responsibility to give up your life to take care of your boyfriend, especially after he became abusive. You stuck it out for 2 years, that's enough.
I've never thought about that. His mom and dad are very kind people. It never really occurred to me that they'd see me as a convenience rather than a potential daughter-in-law. But it makes me even more sad now. This entire thing feels like it has all feelings and soul sucked out of it. I'm just a caretaker for a depressed shell of a person, and the parents are happy they don't have to pay me, and they have me on speed dial. Everything feels so empty and dishonest. I can't explain it. What you said makes a whole lot of sense. I never considered it. It's actually really upsetting to me, because it explains why his mom has been so adamant these few past months about me staying. I think she noticed the strain on my relationship with her son.
User OWise1.
First of all, I want to acknowledge the truly selfless thing you have done for more than 2 years. Besides taking care of your boyfriend, have you dealt with the grief of losing the life that you planned with him? It must have been devastating for you too. If you have suppressed your own feelings, then please get therapy to take care of yourself. Next, this is an abusive relationship. The reason why he treats you this way is no longer relevant. You need to get out for your own mental safety. His mother is defending her son because this is also a tragedy for her. But that does not make her right. Don't let her guilt you into staying. I wish you the best.
I pretty much ignored any feelings or thoughts of my own because my boyfriend was the priority. He was the one in need of help. He is the one who is suffering the most. My own feelings can wait. However, I am just exhausted. I didn't know how else was I supposed to convince him that I still loved him. Every day I gave him assurance of my genuine feelings towards him. I am a very physical person. Kissing and hugging is my love language, so I always tried to show my affection to reassure him that his disability did not change anything feelings-wise. He seemed particularly upset that he still felt all of those physical desires and urges, but is practically unable to do anything about it. I suggested exploring specific options for intimacy that are catered towards disabled people. There are folks that have all sorts of physical impairments, but those don't stop them from enjoying sexual activities. My boyfriend, instead of at least contemplating the idea, immediately became outraged and insulted, started yelling at me for implying that he is impotent and less of a man. I never implied that he is any less of a man. I just suggested options that we could explore so he could still enjoy physical intimacy. He told me to leave and, I quote, "Buy a dildo while you're at it." I just waved it off as a moment of anger and didn't think much of it, but in retrospect, I think him being unable to perform anymore really destroyed his self-esteem. I've never brought it up again, and I decided to come to terms with the idea that my physical needs are off the list. But then he started neglecting simple emotional intimacy. I simply wanted to cuddle while watching a movie, give him a hug or kiss him, maybe compliment him on his haircut or a nice shirt that he wore. But all of those things either went ignored, or he looked like simple reciprocation of affection between two people in a relationship is a chore. The more time went on, the more dissociated he appeared. Last few weeks, he looked like he doesn't want to even exist in the same room with me. I chalked it up to him being depressed, but emotionally, I feel like a mop in this relationship. Like he's wiping the metaphorical floor with me, and I'm just hoping against all hope that his former self is going to resurface again soon. I realized that I neglected a lot of my own needs for him. But at this point, I'm afraid to leave because he pushed away all of his friends too. His family and me, that's all he has. If I leave, I'm a bit afraid that it may become a catalyst for something truly awful, especially since he's obviously already depressed.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.